Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Revolution Esports production. Today we have the lovely Div 1 final here. We have the two teams, Choco Bros versus Shinigami, in this last setup here. Alright, seems like we're going back to the lobby in that case.
Now arriving at Lijiang Tower.
Either way, we're going to be going
Initiating
live.
match.
Alright, while we're 3 doing late, we're going to be live on the second channel today. So we're going a couple seconds. I'm sorry, I'm getting a couple stuff more ready on the sidelines here. I'm going to be your color commentary. I'm going to have with me Bite Me. He's going to provide all the play-by-plays.
Ready for battle.
Going for you guys.
Hello, everybody.
Either way, it's going to be a very, very exciting game for both teams here. Both of them are showing up fairly grand on both sides.
Yeah, we have Choco Bros coming back to the finals once more. They do have some roster changes, but I'm sure that they're going to be as heavy hitting as they were last season. So let's get into the first fight. So you know the bans are Sigma, Roadhog, Doomfist, and I think Baptiste. Those are going to be the bans for today's
Brig, actually.
Oh, Brig. There we go. So we got Brig banned. So we're just going into this first fight. Two sides. The traders are both harassing each other in the back line, but that's not what really matters. What's really going to be mattering here is if this bar is going to be able to get a pick off, or if Team Choco Bros is going to decide to commit for a reverse push and try to scare Shinigami out off of the point. And it seems like it's going to be going as a push and pull fight. And both Winstons get taken off in this first half of the fight, so you need to be looking out for the Pharah and this Diva, right? It really matters on placement right there, and with that sleep, that means that they're gonna first fight is gonna go to Choco Bros. With this next fight coming into here, really the same rules sort of apply. You either have to choose to ignore the Pharah or suck it up and just focus down the Pharah. Really what we're looking for is a distraction by Diva, because think about it, right? If Team Choco Bros just decides to ignore Pharah and go in for this fight that's happening off the side of point, then they can just go in. But we do see a sides come out, trying to focus down Mercy. Muka's taken down. Now Safra is coming up. Can't get the point because he doesn't have enough mobility. But honestly, getting the ult onto Mercy is going to end the fight right here. Just some cleanup coming in from Choco Bros. And clean up they will with Lukenhaus taking himself out of the fight to get that little bit of a faster respawn. Really what you're looking for. I remember back when there were whole discussions about whether you should or shouldn't kill yourself to get the faster respawn. Nowadays it just seems, oh yeah, no, your team's dead, just off yourself too. Nuclear bomb does come in from Diva, but barely not botched. Really good placement from Choco Bros and from Shinigami. Shinigami who's using popcorn to get Tracer out of there, and now more of an on point push, looking really good on the side of Shinigamis. They're able to finally get a few picks off with the ults that they've had. It really doesn't matter if you solo ult. All you need to do is continue the roll after the ult, and that's exactly what Shinigami's going to be doing, taking people out. With Safra getting booped out, that's going to force Choco Bros to back out of the fight and re-emerge for another fight, hopefully. He's only 15%, so there's definitely some more room. Choco Bros definitely does have the ult advantage, and you don't even need to worry about Popcorn's ult. Really, that bomb is more of a cooldown for Popcorn. Popcorn needs to go in the backline, harass, and do some real damage. Argus Nano Visor come out, take out Pharah and one of the supports. Safra going off right now. finishing off the rest of them, and that's going to be Choco Bros retaking the point. All they have to do is sweep up these last few players, and that is going to be done easily with them. But they popped almost all of their ults right there. They only have ignored Pi, and while we don't have that many good offensive ults, we have a good zoning ult coming in right now. Getting Stella out, all they really wanted to do was push them off, force them into the Tracer. But now, with Ana out of the fight, it's going to look a little bit harder. You need that support, you need that big fat support, but we do have Angry Monkey in case Pine decides to stall. Gonna pop it so he doesn't die to the fat bomb that the cooldown that Luckenhouse has right there. Are going to see some reses come in as this fight comes down to a close. But it's not looking good on the side of Choco Bros. Really looking like they should have saved a few of those ults. And the staggering comes in. Ignore Pi falls down, meaning really there's only Popcorn and Diva left, and that is going to be a stalled point. Yes, the point hasn't finished being contested yet, but now that they do have it, the last thing that Choco Bros wants to do right here is trickle in. Now they have to sit back and they have to wait. This is why yes, if you pop 4 ults, you're going to win the fight, but it doesn't matter, because if you pop 4 ults, then sorry, but the enemy team's probably going to be winning that second fight. Personally, the Nano Visor was probably enough for that fight. They're going to pop Visor right here. Far's looking a little bit worse for wear, hiding up behind the pillar. Soldier's not going to have it all. Go straight into point. Great job. They zoned out Far perfectly there. Far playing a little bit aggressive, but they have the picks. Mercy falls low, but just barely getting out of there, just comes up. Ults are being popped. The fireworks and hit scans are down. You're going to see a nice res off here. Remember, heroes do not die in this meta at all, and they are not going to retake as much as they want it. 80%, they only have 1.5 pushes left in their blood right now. Choco Bros coming up to 90, but they are falling flat. They need to think of something to do here. Personally, they need to focus on the main fight. They have the 2 hit scans, and they need to choose right now. Do they want to do the main fight, or do they want to focus everyone on the Pharah and Mercy? Because they have the ability to focus everyone on Pharah and Mercy, but they're just choosing to take a little bit of a weird point. They're splitting themselves up. They are splitting themselves up and allowing themselves to be pushed upon and to be picked, but they're not going to do that for this fight. A nice teamed up. They're going to be seeing the nuclear bomb come up to try to contest for as long as possible, but it's pretty obvious, even if you are an enraged monkey, you are not going to be getting the point, and that is going to be the first point going to Choco Bros. Very nice close game. Choco Bros going up to 99%. Choking, it's not choking, it was more of a stumble, I'd say, but they were able to regain their footing.
You had Ant at the end of that fight there. He did have his ult up. I think if he just popped it a little more preemptively, it could have been Shinigami picking up the point there, but it's very, very close. It's 99 to 99. And using that Mercy Pocket on Safra, just with that Visor and the Nano, just boosting it with that double damage, it just allows the Pharah just for a couple seconds of just not being able to rain the skies anymore. And that's just the opening that Choco Bros needs to go in for this fight.
And choosing to play, ooh, really nice play. We are going to be seeing Choco Bros go for the Symmetra straight to point. Sadly, though, this Reinhardt's going to be scaring them off a point. We do see Telly come up. Everyone's going for it. Telly's now down, but everyone's on point, and all of the teleporters, all of the turrets are on point, dealing that optimal damage. Watch out for the back lines. That's really not what you want to be doing is Tracer. But this has been a really nice push by them. They were able to finish up this ground fight. Popcorn just trying to take out the Pharah, which really isn't that good for them. I mean, they do have Mora, so the Pharah's not going to be too good. What do you think about Pharah staying here so long? Yeah, Far's able to retreat back to her team for just a few seconds, but now the next fight is going to start. Ignored Pi playing a very aggressive Ryan. Love to see the aggros over here, but whether playing aggressive is the right idea to do might be wrong, but with the support from his team and the Mora ultimate coming out, that's feeling like it's a pretty juicy time. start swinging your hammer as Ryan. You have the heals, plus you have the damage that you can sort of overflow onto Ryan. You do have a trade in the back, but Sapphire's able to pull out the Mercy as well. Huge shatter comes in from Ignore Pie, and that is going to be second fight done. Choco Bros keeping a hold on this point. They're coming in, and they're coming in strong.
Seems the Fire Mercy is currently not paying up as much for Shinigami as you'd like to, and having the consistent damage from that Symmetra as well. It's just Ant is losing the shield war by quite a bit. That Symmetra, that full charge beam is just sucking away at his shield and is not allowing him to play as aggressively as he wants and needs to be. It seems like they're going to be switching off more of a classic game.
Great main wall comes out. Nothing really comes out from it. We do see Symmetra pop the ult in actually a really good position. They're not playing behind it though. Would have preferred to see it up a little bit more, but you can't have the perfect wall every single time. So that was going to fall down to a nuclear bomb, more used as a last-ditch effort. And now we're going to be seeing Choco Bros lose the point. Shinigami is going to win this fight. So what was Shinigami able to do there that allowed them to win that fight instead of... Was it the Mei switch?
It's that disgusting Mei switch, yeah. Mei is very nice, and you saw they had the more shield damage here, so they were really expecting more... be a little more safer than they were, so Shinigami just sped into them, put up the wall, isolated that Reinhardt there, and then if it's close quarters against the Mei, shield does not matter. She will get you down, and the team followed up beautifully, and they were able to take out that fight.
Freeze is just too good, really. Watch as this Mei is going to try to wall out. The Mei wants to wall out an individual. Perfect job right there, getting Ignored Pie out right there. In fact, Safra actually popped Visor right there. A really, really risky decision. Is it going to pay off? No, it's not. Reinhardt is playing so good right now. And just completely denying anything that Soldier wants to do. Forcing the comeback out. Now they're down. They only have 1 ult to 3. Going to be extremely hard to take this next point. And a huge stagger on the spawn, forcing them to wait even longer. What can Choco Bros do to try to retake the point?
Well, they have they actually switch off the Symmetra. If they still have the Symmetra, they could teleport her into the window here, but they have Zetsuki on the high ground here. It's just, as you saw, they had the Mei on point, and Choco Bros did not want to get on point. They knew exactly what was going to happen if they go close quarters without a Reinhardt on that point, but the Reinhardt can't come in with that Mei wall still being up.
Coming in, going in the Gale, trying to get the optimal healing, trying to do whatever they possibly can, but the ults are coming out from every single side. 3 ults coming out from both sides, a little bit risky. Popcorn popping ult to stop the Mei from doing too much damage, but the damage has already been done. The question is Choco Bros able to work with this damage done? And that answer is yes, as we see the Soul ult come back out from both sides. Diva's doing whatever she possibly can to stall it. In fact, Reinhardt just shattered right there. Absolutely huge. Wasted ult. Could have possibly been used to stagger out the fight a little bit longer. Stop the extra push from coming. But now Ignore Pie's gonna have to play even harder to keep this point up. Trying to deny whatever happens. Hammond in the backline doing a perfect job harassing as the damage comes in. First it was looking like it was going to go perfectly fine for Choco Bros, but now it's looking like it possibly might not go too well. Lucio living a little bit too long, but Moira's going to end this up a little soon. Overtime's ticking down second by second as Choco Bro gets a second point, meaning that they have the first map of the series.
It was beautiful fought out. Like, what can I say? They just, the last fight, they switched over to Farah. She got that one pick. She got the utility she needed out of that fight. And with Popcorn, basically have no shields up. This that one wall was the difference between life and death for Shinigami there. And it was that one wall that just, that got missed out. That did not get the pick that they needed to. And and then with that, it was Choco Bros being able to snowball that fight out.
But this isn't the end for Shinigami. Yes, Choco Bros might have won that as a 2-0, but Shinigami was able to get to 99% both times and have a hard hold. So Shinigami is not trailing too far behind Choco Bros. This might just not be their map. The next map
this is not over. This is nothing so far. These teams are neck and neck and neck. It's just one cooldown, one failed pick that's basically being the difference between winning and losing here. Just one button of the keyboard is all it takes for one of these teams to win and one of these teams to lose. So far, I am still very, very, like, normally when you go into these games, you think of Soldier as a throw pick in any sort of the way, and Safra is just showing us that you need to respect the Soldier here. Not sure how he works with the utility in here, but he's able to flank in some ways and just provide a lot of damage to the backline, just causing that distraction, causing that rotation that Shinigami needs to split half and half. And it seems that that's what Chocobros is currently doing to win out these matches. Safra going on a Soldier and then switching onto the Pharah for that one pick, or for that one split difference that they needed for that fight.
And we are going to see a switch off for a sub. Ono is going to be coming in, picking up the reins for...
It's actually Popcorn.
Yeah,
where they hit
Popcorn's gonna be
Scam, he
switched
was
out.
the McCree. He was able to get that beautiful opening pick last round. And let's see if he can, if they might have a specialty here. Or Popcorn was fantastic so far, both in the Symmetra for that first round, getting them to the point, getting that percentage up as well, and then helping them close out that last fight. So whatever Ono's going to be playing, he needs to be really, really good at it, that they are willing to take out Popcorn here in this next map. And also, it seems to be going on to Route 66.
Yeah, so you brought up Symmetra for a while there. If both teams are running the Lucio, it sort of seems like the Symmetra would just be redundant at that point. I mean, once you have the speed boost, it's only going to take like an extra half a second to get the point.
Yes, but even with the speed boost, you're able to drop in, and you have those turrets out there. If the turrets, a lot of people have still issues to shoot those turrets down, and remember, those are disgusting when it comes to slow down. And if you're on point, you're close quarters, which means you have a speed boost available, but Symmetra will get more and more damage the longer she's alive. So as long as you can able to keep her behind the shield, keep her protected in some way or another, you are just winning out those brawl fights on point. Hey there.
Now we are going to be seeing Safra on the Soldier again, and personally the only problem that I have with this is that Visor doesn't give you headshots.
Oh, definitely. But it seems that body shot alone is currently Safra's way of carrying his team so hard.
Yeah, but there isn't going to be a Pharah. Dios was about to put some Pharah, but switching off onto that nasty Mei, which is I love Mei. I'm a filthy Mei main, so I love to see it. Sad that we're not seeing the boat set sail with the Bastion, but you can't always have what you want.
Well, they have Safra. It seems he's apparently they're very, very happy with the skill on Soldier here.
Maybe he has that extra fat tracking. Honestly, if the tracks are good, they're good. First, Maywall comes out, allowing Safra to take out Dios. Now, really, all that needs to happen is Focus Fire, and Focus Fire is exactly what we're going to see off to the side of Shinigami right now. Great Focus Fire, able to take out Safra when they were down one, and now that is going to be the rest of Choco Bros eating the dust right now. Trying to contest for a little bit longer, but you cannot contest too long when there are 7 people eating you.
No, it was a very nice, clean fight for Shinigami there. The Mei did drop right off the bat. It seems that the Helix rocket buff is just giving Safra just that extra burst damage to get those picks.
Time to raise my APM.
Yeah, but we are now going to be seeing the next fight come in a split push, having D.Va sort of shield in body block for the rest of the team as Reinhardt comes in the high ground. Now we're looking for that backline harass coming in from Safra, and then the continued targeting and just focusing from the rest of the team. And Choco Bros seems to be back on their foot. Had a little of a stumble right there. Got focused a little bit too hard in that first fight, but seemed like they're going to be turning the tides around. Oh, and Safra opting to stay in the back line.
Well, no, he's actually going forward, just completely into that. He has the legs. He locked the legs, and he's just duking around, rotating from high ground and everything else. I was actually a little curious about that split push coming up inside, but ignored Pi. Just so confident in the skill of his soldier to basically provide that shield for him to come in safely, and value he got.
Here comes the nuclear bomb. Choco Bros are putting in a lot of ults for this next fight. The fireworks are being popped. Everyone is putting down everything. The only people who have not clicked Q are the tanks, and actually the tanks just clicked Q2 to finish up this fight, and that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. If you did not know, if you click Q 4 times, then you automatically win the fight. Jeff Kaplan approved.
I've seen it go the other way. They both, yeah, but this next hold is fairly hard. Chocobros, if they take high ground here, they do have 4 ults of their own raining down into that choke. So it's going to be a little curious for Shinigami how they're going to push through it, especially since they do have that Mei ult available for the side of Chocobros.
That's going to be really hard. I think if Ono has ult a little bit sooner, that fight could have gone completely different, but they're all grouped up right now. We do see the sides come out. Oh, well, great Maywell coming out, blocking out Soldier, but you can't block out the man who has the thick thighs coming in. He exercises every single day. He's not going to let anyone take him down. That's when DFQ picks off, and now really what they're looking to do is they're just looking to get some more ult feed. They want to clean up the floor, and they want to get their ult charges back up.
Still nice fight for Shinigami. They knew they were down here. They saw both ults being popped, and they had a lot of well, they didn't pop anything of their own. Now they have. Oh no! Now they have Diaz with the Mei ult themselves. If he can go in there, he can probably trap most of the team here, and they should be able to win this next push-up going forward.
Great wall, but an anti-wall comes out from Ono, but a huge, look at that anti. So it doesn't matter who you anti if you can't keep it back up. An amazing discipline coming in from Shinigami. As soon as that second wall came out, they knew they couldn't do anything about it. Actually, no, I think Dios' ult got
it was ignored Pi. He had that split-second shadow there, denying that ult right there and winning his team the team fight. Nice timing of that shadow there.
I'm gonna go high ground instead, but which really isn't that good of an idea. Maywell comes out, but it's not too good. Oh, the boom comes out. It doesn't get anyone, but we are gonna see him come out. Ooh. Gets Moo out, so that's a very good engage for them. No longer speed into the McCree, and now really all that needs to happen is Lucio needs to speed Reinhardt and D.Va into anyone, and they win the fight. Unless Lucio
hammer from Ant here.
Great rebound from Shinigami right there.
But the point is still not being contested. It's still a Baby D.Va on point here, and they're still rotating out. Even though they lost the fight here, just using those couple seconds just to get further here. It's going to be close to the last 30 seconds for Shinigami here when they can go around here, giving Choco Bros a humongous amount of time to recontest and hopefully deny the second point.
Choco Bros has so much space right now, and they can do whatever they want with it as long as they can secure this next fight. We do see Pi go down a little bit earlier, but it was just to get that distraction for a huge Mei freeze with 3 kills total, including the Lucio coming out. Oh, there's a big... Oh, well, not too big, but it was big enough to put some fright in the eyes. A little bit of a unoptimal ult on the side of Shinigami.
Using them both too so late, but kudos to Z2K that he had the confidence that the Mei ult would be big. They were able to pick up the Reinhardt here, and this will potentially give them a little momentum to push this forward here, since the spawns are going to be heavily in their favor here, and it's already playing off. You got the first pick in already.
A very risky play that was. If it was just a second. Honestly, I'm still debating if that was the right decision, but it seems like this fight is going to work out either way, and if you win the fight, you win the fight. That's all that really matters right now. We're going to see D.Va get DMAC'd, and the rest of the fight is about to come to a close, with Safra joining the fight, but getting focused down by D.Va. That's what you want to see. As soon as anyone joins this fight, we're going to see D.Va just immediately dive in on them. Some really big contest coming in from Mei right there, able to stop that point for just a few more seconds, allowing the team to regroup.
Well, it seems that Chocobros is opting not out for Tomb of the Penalty here. And the other huge difference between these two is Satella on Moira. Satella has been pretty much the bane in the previous match for the enemy Genji here, just being a bane for any DPS as well. And having that Moira here on the side of Chocobros here, they just have so much sustain in the brawl fights.
You want Nuke coming in from the back line. A little bit too far shot. Would have preferred to see that arc a little bit shorter, but it was able to get the zoning ult. It was able to get mage walls down. But you need, when you have something like that, you need to work with it. Because just popping Visor into the fight, going in the back line is not going to do you anything.
It seems that Shinigami is catching on to Sapphire's shenanigans here. As you saw, that they ignored him for such a long time, and then he needed to rotate around to get any value out of that Visor. Do you see this? He's switching over to McCree here. It seems like his soldier day is going to be ending for this match for now.
You can't just pop your Visor and expect to get work out of it. And a little bit of a defensive May ult coming in from the side of Chocobros. Don't exactly agree with it. When your team's frozen and then you pop your Blizzard to freeze the enemy team, well, then... Well, they weren't even in it, which was the main problem, allowing for this fight to last this long. Chocobros does have a few more people on point. They do have the close respawn, so this might be a little bit easier.
They do have the Baptiste.
But it's just not going to be optimal for them anymore. They don't have that May ult for the next fight. And with the antis coming in, with Anti's hammer, showing down the dominance, hammering in the nails that are Chocobo trying to get unaligned in this wooden board, they are going to be able to get the point after a little bit of contention from this Lucio.
Nice fight there. Like, Moira has advantage of that brawl fight here, but it was Timmy able to get those antis off, denying that extra heal, especially since they switched onto that Baptiste. He's lovely for he's lovely for the stall here. That lamp is there, but that shortened time up time for it is at such a 9. Timmy waiting it out, nading it in, negating any other brawl healing he can provide, and Shinigami closing out that match. Nice stalling as well, but it seems that as soon as they got Sapphire's off a soldier there, they were able to push it in the end. They had a nice stall coming with Chocobros though, but it seems that Shinigami had that je ne sais quoi, able to keep the point alive. They had their healers, they had the Diva on point with that roll damage, with that missiles, with that peel from Z2K. They're able to keep it alive and then have their main force come back in and then clean out the point. But it wasn't overtime, so it's going to be Chocobros here to show something different. Potentially, if they get more time on the clock, they're going to have a big advantage over Shinigami. But we haven't even started the second round of this match yet. So I'm very excited to see how Chocobros is going to be showing up on attack here. Oh, they're coming up with the Fair Mercy as well.
As much as I think Sapphire's can do a lot of work on that soldier, he has to pop his ult a little bit better. Like, whenever I see him pop an ult, it shows him that he wins it. In fact, getting up on the high ground right there.
Oh, and Timmy!
Timmy doing an absolutely great job, as well as the call off on his Z2K. He was able to come in there and heal the rest of the damage. Forcing Chocobros to wait a little bit.
Oh, and dropping insanely low here, but nice feel from his neck.
Alex, absolutely great plays, but with Reinhardt anti right there, coming down close, but saving Clutch Timmy, able to wait out the anti and then to deal optimal heals. This fight is going to go on a little bit longer than Chocobros would like, but they are going to be able to continue the fight as soon as Devo runs out of her defense matrix. Oh no, just able to get too much damage in.
Yeah, but this fight, it was a nice stall from Shinigami here. They were able to get up at least the nano from Timmy here. But it is Chocobros that's going to have the advantage here. They already have the Shatter online. Having Ant drop so early in that fight is going to give them a big advantage in that Ryan v Ryan fight. Both have nano, but you have the Shatter. You have the advantage here. And Ono now coming up with the barrage as well. It's going to be nice.
Here come the jukes, here come the jukes. We need to watch. This is between Ignored Pie and Shinigami's Aunt Ryan. Oh, and Ryan falling down super low right there, but able to stay back up. We do see Blizzard come out. Ignore Pie gets nanoed, but he's actually frozen. Humongous on the side of if you're Dios right there. Great freeze, but it is really difficult to tell who's going to come out on this fight. But his Safra pops his ult and cleans up the floor with the rest of that. That is going to be Choco Bros getting an extraordinary time.
Probably not needed that fight there. It was as soon as Timmy went down, they lost the nano for Ant, and that was the end of that Ryan v Ryan fight here. Dios does commit the freeze a little bit too late there, but Safra instead used an ult. He didn't have to use it. They had advantage on point. The only people left, it was a 3v5, and maybe not use that ult there. But next point, next game. Oh, ignored Pie.
Oh, and they're gonna adjust into it. A little bit of a weird ult choice, get it entirely eaten up by the Ana. They were able to ult right there, but that's just I thought that was a waste on the side of. Oh no, you already lost your Ryan.
In some senses, no. It's a fair barrage. It is your win condition. Even if you lose the Rhine, you should be able to win the fight out. But it's D2K spinning on the side, able to eat that one. Macchiati trying to help out that his Pharah, but all of it got eaten. The entire damage got negated. And that's the opening of Shinigami needed to clean out this fight.
Yeah, when you're playing far, you need to play in the backline. When you're playing far and you have Barrage, you need to play in the backline. The enemy team shouldn't be knowing that you're gonna come out. You shouldn't be giving away your position. With telegraphed a little bit much, but Choco Bros can always come back from it. We've seen the 99 plays. Safra's gonna pop ult to start off the first few picks with a really nice trade, triple kill onto both the supports and a DPS, allowing Choco Bros to finish up the fight with a great high ground play by Safra.
But the community of the ults there, the freeze was very nice, but the team was split up. The follow-up was a bit lacking there, and Safra had his ult up once again, able to charge it at such a high rate that he's able to pick up. Look at us here on the high ground here. McCree would have been the hot follow-up damage, the high burst damage to get those targets that are already frozen down low, and with him out of the picture and zoned out and dead after, it is going to be Sugar Rush picking up the map here. And look at this time back. They still have 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Nano comes out. They tried to pull the walls out, but they weren't enough. May, oh no, got a perfect anti-wall. Huge shatter coming in. A wall comes in too. The fight is continuing slowly, but it is continuing as we do see Ryan pop a Fatty Shaddy continuing just humble in Choco Bros to the ground. 2 minutes is a lot of time, yes, but they still have to make it to the last point.
It is, and Timmy here really popping off on the side of Shinigami. He was able to keep his Ryan alive long enough here, and with Leos on that May wall, just providing that extra little M here. And as soon as the ignored Pie went down, Ant had so much free room. There was no shield anymore to block a shatter, and a nice cleanup from Shinigami here.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. We are going to be seeing Choco Bros go off on the high ground. Diva! So what Diva wants to do is Diva wants to focus down whoever is on the high ground. Ryan falls down to Lucas because a little bit of an aggressive play got antied a little bit too soon. Without your Ryan, you're going to have a hard time playing this fight, and that is going to be Choco Bros having only 1 minute left with only 2 pushes.
And it seems like the big difference here is Timmy with those antis coming in as well. And yeah,
it's very hard to see, especially with the ults. We do have.
Oh my god, look at the ult bank currently for Shinigami.
4 ults, but honestly, Shinigami has around 4 plus a little bit of change of their ults. They're gonna have a little bit of an easier time. Freeze comes out. He's absolutely huge. Gets both the supports and Luck and House right there. They're gonna be able to get the 2 picks off right there, along with the sides coming in and finishing up Moot. That was absolutely huge. That is exactly what Choco Bros needed. It seems like all that really needs to happen for Choco Bros to win the fight is to have Safra on high ground and just click Q.
And it seemed it was I do give credit for him for getting that ult off again once up anymore, but having that set play from his May, providing him this anything else. But he stood still. He didn't need to have to move. His entire team
really, it's gonna be hard. And look at how many ults that Shinigami has. They have 5 all that they need to do is juggle those ults, right? Only pop Shatter and hold onto the Nano, pop only a few ults at a time, as they're in fact gonna get shattered by almost everybody right there. Really having a hard time popping. You hate to see it, popping every single ult right there. Extremely unnecessary, and now they're going to have, now they're evened up. Now Choco Bros and Shinigami are equal in ult power. Coming into
they have
this
a
next
beat
fight,
versus looking at with that high noon.
What they wanted to do was they wanted to have only use 1, maybe 2 ults per fight, so you have 2 to 1 ults come into the next fight. They are going to be popping high noon right here, but the shields are going to be extremely good, having to cancel because we just did not have that line of sight. And this corner really just isn't looking good for them. There are too many possibilities for walls to come in, too many ways that Diva and May and Ana can just abuse this corner right now, but they're not going to care about it at all. They're going to pull directly through it as Lucio tries to contest the point for just a few seconds on the, just 20 seconds to push it these last 10-30 meters or so, which is going to be a feat in of itself. But Choco Bros does have the ult advantage. Now they don't want to commit too hard. They want to pop 1 or 2 ults. Look at how Sopper's on the high ground. He's in an optimal position to pop Visor. There it comes in. The freeze comes in for the support. So Sapper doesn't want to focus on the people on the freeze. He only wants to focus on the supports, on the backline, on the people who are going to be too evasive for them to actually hit as the counter ults come in. But Sopper has already done too much damage. It's going to be extremely hard for Shinigami to even consider to contest this point. They can try to throw Moira at it, but they're just not going to get there in time, as it is 3-3, both sides 1 minute.
Interesting enough, the timeback is slightly off. It seems that Overwatch has 1.01 meters more for Choco Bros here. Not sure how that works.
What do you think of that last push right there with Choco Bros barely fighting tooth and nail to get that point?
It was the momentum of that brawl ult fight out. Both teams used a significant amount of ults for the little brawl as well, and it seems that it was Choco Bros. They were a little more aggressive here. The wall was a little better, and the follow-up there with the Diva on high ground here bursting down on Ant.
Anyway, great play by both teams right there, coming up to... This is just like...
I forgot I was muted. I'm sorry, I've been talking a little bit. Either way, it was that brawl fight that came out here. That wall was slightly better. The follow-up on Ant was a smidgen better here, and that's all they needed for. Just having that Reinhardt down for the side of Shinigami just provided Choco Bros for the little more room to come through, being a little more aggressive here, build up there also a bit faster there, and then snowball and keep that point going. But Shinigami just eating up so much time here. These teams are neck on neck on neck, both here in overtime as well. I'm very excited what they're going to bring out for this overtime, this push, which is definitely going to go into overtime.
Yeah, and I think the only problem that Choco Bros might face here is that I think they have Safra on read. As soon as Safra like starts a fight off and he goes directly to high ground, it telegraphs to Z2K that Safra has ult and that they should be looking out for the Visor. But Visor doesn't matter right now. What matters is this first push, and this first push is going to be absolutely amazing. Yes, they are down their McCree, but guess who has spawn advantage? So right now, without Ono just spawning in, having to come back to point is going to be extremely detrimental. They have to push back. They have to give space that Shinigami knows that they deserve. Right now, we have to watch Choco Bro respect Shinigami, but the shatter comes in as soon as Reinhardt falls. Yes, they are in overtime now, so really, all they need to do is get 1 good ult off, 1 or 2 good ults off, but Timmy has Nano.
Well, it was, that fight was actually really nice for Choco Bros. The fight, they turned it into a two-fight zone. That first little point, they're backing off when they need to and re-engaged it when they need to as well. Just eating up enough time and making sure that it went to overtime as fast as possible.
Perhaps to end right here as Ant gets completely frozen, comes in and gets the revenge, taking out Ono. Yes, Safra is on high ground. Yes, he has visor, but no one's in his line of sight. He cannot hit anyone down. Gonna get focused down by Z2K. Having to hide behind, deal up some follow-up damage. He's gonna get taken off, leading this to the supports and a mini diva to try to contest and win this point. Are they going to be able to do it? The answer is nobody is sure right now.
Well,
All
they
are
are Moira
being
on point
popped.
with that brawl healing. She's still providing a lot of damage. And once again, another 60 to another Coalescence.
Ooh, the shatter onto the reverse shatter. He knew that he was gonna. He knew that the shield was gonna go down, trying to take out the Mei, allowing them to get a few more picks, and that is going to be an amazing push. Choco Bros tries to contest, but they really just don't have the manpower.
This will heal you.
Beat committed there at the end, a little hopeful for the side of Chocobos, but if it would have worked out, they would have won the fight there, and the overtime clock is ticking away, and Shinigami able to pick up the first point here, and ult advantage is fairly even for both these fights, but Satella has another Coalescence available for them, so with a bomb and some aggro, they should be able to clear off this point right here.
The Ant is a tad bit closer to Shatter, although I will admit the Shatter is not. Oh, actually, Ant falling down pretty early in that game. A little bit of an unlucky shield focus for him. Only had around 50 shield left. He got focused down, and now the fight's looking actually extremely good. Safra has visor. He's gonna pop it right as soon as he gets it. The freeze comes in. The focusing is out of here, and that is going to be an attempt to contest, but it is not there. Shinigami able to push to point one and then some.
It's just that small thing. Satella on this Moira didn't switch off earlier, was able to build up his Coalescence once again there, and with that they were able to aggress on in there. Even though Dios had his freeze up, it's just that that smidgen more security you have, having that Coalescence healing coming in as well. And then I'm not really sure how Ant died there. I was in all spec for the little fight there, but having your Reinhardt fall down there is a big boon for Chocobros here, and they were able to pick up the fight and that aggression as well, able to build up another couple ults as well. And Safra, once again, he seems to be an ult charging machine so far in this game, comes up with another visor, and with that pressure of him just sitting on high ground, firing enough damage into the Shinigami team, Chocobros is able to clean up right after there. But beautiful push so far. Let's see how Shinigami is going to be holding a little more aggressive here, hoping that they can prevent from this first point coming in for Chocobros.
Yeah, and while we are switching up the sides, I would like to welcome. Took a little while because the Div finals went a little bit too long, but I'd like to welcome Temporal.
Thank you for thank you for having me on. It's such tardiness, and I've been watching on the stream though. Both teams doing a fantastic job so far. Chocobros, of course, on top a little bit, and this is going to be a very close hold. But then again, that's what you've got to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's coming down to the nail right now. Chocobros having to already enact their first res, but they have the pick off on the Mei, and really this Steve was about to fall down, not looking too good, having a little bit of an easy push, easy first point, easy first fight right here, and allowing himself to take the point, not point, but the cart.
That fight was a little bit longer for Shinigami there, and we're a similar time bank, and it seems they're Shinigami was able to stall out a little bit more, making sure that the overtime is going to be ticking faster for Chocobos on this here. But Ono on that farrier is going to be quite a bit of disadvantage for Shinigami here. That barrage is just a clearing point ult, and now that overtime is going up, it might be the ult that defines the fight.
Will Ant get the Earth Shatter though?
Omar definitely has to be worried about anything happening in this fight right now. He has both the Diva and the McCree right on top of him right now. Looking a little bit bad as both these Reinhardts just try to brawl it out right now. The really big shatter comes in to get this. Oh, I was expecting that to go the complete other way, but Safra, along with Reinhardt, were able to just clean that up.
Hello there.
the advantage of that first close hold they had meant they got that second fight, and now they've pushed Choco Bros into overtime, so there's still a chance here that Shinigami could take the map. They're a little bit away on their ults. Of course, the advantage now with that barrage, the coalescence, and the self-destruct, but an opportunity for Shinigami here to take a map win.
Almost looking for the barrage right here.
A little bit of an aggressive Moira play right now, but first point.
Oh, the Blizzard!
First point.
Oh, Blizzard and Choke is going to be big.
Oh, ignore Pie!
But Dios was able to get the pick off, and the fight continues. Sofra lives 30% ult, but we're not looking at Sofra right now. We're looking at this Mercy who comes in and reses ignored Pie right in the middle of the fight. A risky, but a very good play by him. Able to weigh that risky reward, allow himself to get up a little bit more. Shatter comes out, but ignored Pie is not going to let anyone on his team fall down to this as the fight continues to be waged on, but Shinigami is losing players slowly. Choco Bros coming up, getting a few more people, and that is going to be almost all of Shinigami taken down. Only Dios, and he falls down soon, meaning Choco Bros is going to be taking this tooth and nail.
Wow, that was such great play by Tamahara and Makiati there. Both of them coming out clutch. Makiati that self-destruct over the top just to even up the odds, and then Tamahara with the res. I mean, that is such a ballsy play from a Mercy play. You go in that tight little space, and you got it. Hey, it worked. You got away with your life, and in the end, it gave you the map win. So fantastic work from both of those players.
I was not expecting that. I was like, oh yeah, no. You know, Pie's down. But that's a weird spot, so there's probably not going to be a res. And then Maze was like, oh, watch me.
That's that, yeah, just having the ignored Pie on point, alive and kicking. Seems enough to win out the fight as well. But that earlier contest, it was Shinigami just one step too late of getting back onto point. And it seems that that is what caught them out there. That Coalescence coming in and being a little trapped there as well. And with the Diva and Ono on the Pharah going through the main choke as well. It just trapped Shinigami in that little hallway. And with that, they were able to clean up. Get cleaned up by Choco Bros here, and that res as well was a little ballsy there, but it paid off for Shinigami. But that was close. Both teams were in overfight at that time. If that freeze would have been a smidgen better, if they're able to get 1 second faster on that point, this entire fight would have gone the other way. Both teams are showing up beautiful here, and none of this is lost so far. It might be 2-up for Shinigami here, but the score reflects it how close these fights are, or doesn't quite reflect it how close these fights are.
Yeah. Choco Bros is only one more map from winning the series, which would give them the finals, just the beautiful. They win Div 1, and they can relish in that sweet, sweet victory. Becoming so Tempora, what were you able to catch off of what you were able to watch?
Choco Bros doing what, honestly, I would expect if Choco Bros have done. They won Division 1 last year. They're the returning champions. They've come back to defend their title. They've gone through the season undefeated. They only dropped 2 maps, once against Dirt, but they did drop 1 map against Shinigami. So if any team in Division 1 knows how to take the fight to Choco Bros, it is Shinigami who are here today. Although the pressure is now on. Not only are they coming in a little bit of the underdog, they're down against match point. And that's so much confidence for Choco Bros. A little bit of a hit to the psyche of Shinigami. So for them, they need to come up big. All players in all roles need to come up big. The tanks need to be doing what they do best, protecting the team, taking the damage, the supports, of course, keeping everyone alive, and the DPS need to be going absolutely mental, taking the fight to Choco Bros, getting the job done. So far we've seen, though, I mean, Choco Bros has no issue with whatever Shinigami has thrown at them.
Yeah, Shinigami has been also throwing a lot, but I just would like to throw a quick question out for you. So we've seen Safra. So I honestly have not seen too much Soldier come out in any meta since I'd say season 5 of normal competitive.
Years and years ago, mate.
Yeah, so what is Safra hoping to do when he visors? Because you can't get headshots off of visor.
No, Visor is just about spamming the damage out there, forcing the other team back. It's funny you mentioned you haven't seen much Soldier. We're just looking at the Division 3 semi-finals. We saw Soldier play, Grand Finals. We saw Soldier played most of the way through, and the last control map, it came down to a Soldier v Soldier battle. So, just teams finding a lot of value in just the constant pressure that Soldier can provide. When you get the Visor out, you're not necessarily looking for kills. It's an added bonus, but you're just looking to force the other team back because you know if you poke around the corner unprotected, it will melt you down.
I think it's thought about also. It denies line of sights quite nicely for most of the teams here, and if I remember correctly, it helps you reload a smidgen faster as well. So this is for the extra damage in those fights, and similar to High Noon can be a zoning ult, it is a zoning ult. It might not provide headshot damage, but it is a guaranteed shot on anybody.
The good old reloading High Noon. You know, just press Q a couple of times just to reload your Peacemaker.
Well, since
Poor
you
McCree.
are here, Temporal, I'm just gonna complain in between matches, but I'm gonna leave the commentary to both of you from now on.
You're welcome to stay and join us, Rins. You've done a fantastic job so far.
Oh, I'm
showing
still
you
gonna
are the
complain.
multi-talented.
I'm just gonna wait till
Okay.
between them.
So no changes to the sides here. Chocobro is continuing on the left, starting on defense. Shinigami on the right. And we're seeing the Farah coming out from Ono now. So a good idea. It makes it very difficult for the attacking team to get through if you cannot deal with it. You've got to get through the choke to get visibility on the Farah, and you've got to have enough long-range damage to deal with it. But the Winston's an interesting choice. Typically, you don't see Ryan too much these days. So with no Brigitte coming in the other team, no Doomfist as well punishing any diving heroes. It's not a terrible choice for Chocobros.
Maybe
It's a pounce damage.
hoping to get some of that reverse dive action. I know I love to see when it was actually really big.
They are running into the Mei though, and Shinigami wasting no time getting here, but
Oh no, taking out Dios almost immediately, allowing Sakura to sort of just come in here and deal a little bit more damage. Z2K is gonna attempt. We're gonna see Z2K put a lot of pressure in Safra for most of these fights. I feel like that's definitely what Z2K is. His main priority is going to be as we really see Shinigami decide to take high ground, but if they're on high ground, they're not on point. Still gives them gives Chocobros a little bit of an advantage than just putting on pressure. You're playing more on when you take high ground, and you know that just allows Chocobros to play at their pace rather than you forcing Chocobros to play at your pace.
oh, that barrage! Look like Shinigami. They're just. So I think I got my sticky notes the wrong way around. Oh no, I don't. So yeah, Shinigami. They've come into this map. They've seen Ono on the Pharah and gone, oh no, Ono's on Pharah. They're making absolute mincemeat of the attacking team so far.
Yeah, honestly, amazing, but the attacking team does have a closer spawn, so they can trickle as much as they want as long as they don't have enough players on
Oh, the
point.
Mei as well!
Oh, the Mei's gonna come
freeze.
in, but we are going to be... Oh, Macchiato wasn't able to get back
the
onto...
wall!
Oh, attempting to pop the nuke right there in order to contest for a little bit longer, but not being able to get back into your mech is what really is going to put you down. Yes, they were able to trade for the Diva, but like I said, the attack spawn is way closer. That's first hit. We do see Safra get moot off with the sweet
Timmy as well, the supports.
That is absolutely huge. This is not a race, it is a marathon right now, with both sides trying to last as long as they possibly can. Both sides getting absolutely amazing picks, and that, after a staggering 2 minutes, is going to be the end to the first fight.
Oh, Safra coming out big, eliminating the entire support line for Shinigami. Dios had done such a great job of holding onto the fight, bringing it back, freezing both the tanks in the middle of their ultimates. But then Safra takes out the supports, the rest of Chocobros get back, and Dios, I'm not sure if he wanted that Blizzard at the end there. It was about a 1v4, and they just threw it in with eliminated straight away. Yeah, you got Tamahara, but now the Mercy's back, and you've got no Blizzard.
They're going to start it off with the Moira ult, the Beam of Destruction coming in, trying to deal some damage. Lukenhouse already falling down to Winston, and it's not looking good. Now Ono can really feel free to do as much damage as he wants. Farm his ult off, and he has his ult right now, so it's not going to be looking too good. Maybe hoping to get behind the Ryan and just deal some damage. Exactly what he's going to do. steal that fat barrage right now, get 2 kills and end that fight out. They only have a minute left, and they only have 1 and some change.
Justice reigned from the side there, and it was brutal for Shinigami, as well as Z2K getting hunted down. The Mercy finishing that one off, you know, a little bit more old charge towards another Valkyrie, which we saw Samahara use at the start of that fight just to keep everyone alive. Once the fight was in their favor, the damage boosted from the Valkyrie was just way too much for Shinigami. So 20 seconds left. They've got a tick and a bit on the clock, but they're going to have to make great use of these ultimates they've got. If they can drag the fight out long enough, they may have a Sound Barrier and a Blizzard in play as well. And we'll see if Safra can make all the difference again with that Tac Visor coming up very close, as well as the tank ults available.
Yeah, but Safra is able to deny it. Now it's not looking too good. They don't have their hit scan anymore. Oh no! Oh, a huge Blizzard right now. A bunch of people are out of the fight. Macchiato's gonna go out of the fight. Oh no's left alone, meaning finally, after a whopping 4 minutes, we are going to be seeing Shinigami take first point.
A good engage by Choco Bros, but Shinigami able to definitely dodge it and finally cap out the point. Yeah, you invested 2 great ultimates, the Sound Barrier and the Blizzard there near the end of the fight, but you're not going to worry. You had to make sure you cleaned up point A to even get a chance of contesting point B, because if you leave Choco Bros just to capture point A, it's likely they take at the map and the match right there and then. A little bit of snowball potential denied there by Ono. The Moot's out of the fight. You don't know speed boost. You're not getting in there fast at all.
Yeah, you can't confirm those kills that you would want to.
Okay. And you're also allowing the defense to build up a few more ultimates of their own. So a little chance for Shinigami there, perhaps gone by the wayside. Tamahara will be close with that Valkyrie as well as the ultimates they already have.
It's not
Now coming back in for another attack. We'll see where they choose to go. If Ant can even catch anyone with this Earth Shatter, honestly.
Stella's hoping. You do see Safra pop Visor, which completely gets denied by
the barrage!
But that was all a big distraction as Ono just sweeps everyone under the rug.
The supports from, the DPS from Choco Bros doing such a great job of focusing on the supports with their ultimates. We saw Safra do it on point A, now we're seeing Ono do it again. 1 ultimate eliminating 2 supports is the best value you can get out of a single ultimate. Well, besides a team wipe, but that is essentially a team wipe. The rest of your team is just doing the rest of your job for you. Shinigami, they didn't waste too much, only the Coalescence invested. Now they're coming in with some strong ults of their own. They've got both tank ults and, crucially, they had the Blizzard as well. They're able to get in a position to use it. It could prove devastating to the defense.
A little bit high on that nuke right there. Doesn't look too hot, but you do have a shatter right there. Coming in all ults in a very rapid succession, trying to get everybody off the point. You just want to deny everybody anything that they ever wanted to, but...
What's that risk?
So close to getting ignored by extremely risky res. I think we know what Tamahara likes to do.
But the distraction paid off. The rest of Choco Bros able to get back out on the point and fend off this attack from Shinigami. It was a great effort, but the Blizzard maybe a little too early. Only caught 1. The rest of you look at the rest of Choco Bros lineup. They have Farah, Firmacy, Soldier on the high ground, and Diva, all able to escape the Blizzard. So. Look, I feel Dios used it where they had to, but just unlucky that Choco Bros is so maneuverable, was able to get out of it. But at least for Shinigami, they have the Sound Barrier coming to this fight. They have a little bit of protection that Choco Bros otherwise won't have for themselves.
Ooh, and Dios able to get a really good pick off onto Ono's. Nuke comes in a little bit too far, but that doesn't matter. You just want that sweet, sweet zoning. As this fight continues, the beam is going to come out. He keeps it on Diva or Far for a little bit longer than one would want, but realizes that the healing is way better, along with the damage off onto Monkey. That is going to be Shinigami getting first tick, ticking down to second tick.
At least 2.
Yeah, Safra is coming in, trying to deny it, coming off, almost third tick coming, but it doesn't matter. Shinigami's doing a great job continuing to push this. Tamahara again able to get a res mid-fight, mid-point. Extremely aggro reses, extremely risky.
Oh, they got it.
Sorry, it's not going to pay off. Second point, no time.
Oh, no. You had Farah and Satella sitting on the side of the point, just not touching. But I liked at the start of that fight, the Coalescence came out from Shinigami, and just a little bit of, and it went straight up in the air onto the Farah. That dropped them down far enough for the McCree to finish off the kill. And that was so much. Once that pressure was gone from the fight, they're able to move on to the rest of the point, use the Coalescence to heal the rest of the team up, and that's what got them the point. So it was a rough old time for Shinigami, especially on point 8, but they got the job done, and now they're in a great position. All they have to do is stop Chocobros finishing the map, and they'll get a map win of their own and keep themselves back in this match.
That's what I want this game to go on as long as possible. I don't care. I want it to be exactly like the game that was just streamed I think 20, maybe, around 20
finished maybe 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Went way over time. I want this to go to map 6. That's what I want to happen.
Hopefully when we get there, we know what to do with, we're all set up for map 5. So we know exactly how a 5-map set plays out. Once we get to map 6, or, us in the production booth, we're all a bit simple. All we do is talk about what we see on the screen. So we get there and we go, oh. Anyway, on the defense now, Shinigami, no particular surprises here. The McCree. I'm going to call it McCree now. This May-McCree combination, very standard. Of course, May's such a strong character. That wall is such a pain in the ass when you get cut off. And that freeze, the tanks dive in, they get frozen. That's the end of that tank. Chocobros, no changes though from their lineup. They like what they run. I think it did a good job. And a lot will come down to Shinigami and not getting caught out of position right now as Chocobros able to get in. They haven't used many cooldowns.
This all comes down to the focus fire that they can announce. Really,
look at Saffron on the high ground.
Ooh, but yeah, he's gonna get res though. Really nice play by Macchiato right there, protecting Mercy when the res came in. But like I said, it's all gonna come down to the focus fire. All amounts to who can call out what targets, and with both the tanks and the support slowly falling down, this is going to be a extremely fast cap on the side of Chocobros.
Yeah, Shinigami caught between a rock and a hard place there. They want to play brawly on the point, but Chocobros is having none of that. They've got the tanks down there just pressuring the front line of Shinigami, forcing them into the house. And you've got Ono, you've got Safra over the top on the high grounders, shooting from both sides, and you've only got one shield in Ant. You can't block everything, and even if you are blocking everything, your shield just gets beaten down like that. Now Chocobros pushing forward. Look at the ultimates they've got. They've got 3 ultimates, almost all 6 online. This could be an incredible snowball, and they put themselves in a prime position to finish out the map.
Yeah, they're popping on the ult. Stella gets killed. Oh, yeah, this is a really big snowball right now. Already coming in with the 3 picks. Continuing. Oh, but Timmy's able to get a second pick off of that. It's actually being really big, throwing in the damage, or trying to get whatever damage he possibly can out, hoping just to get a few more picks or just to contest for a little bit longer. We are going to be seeing McCree get back on point. Reinhardt tries to get a pick off with that really desperate charge. Everyone just going desperate mode right here as a tick falls down. That is going to be first tick coming up as soon as May gets a D cryoed right there. But the contestations are hard. It's still not looking too good for Shinigami. It doesn't matter as long as this fight goes on. The longer the spawn times are going to be for Shinigami. Ant is going to try to do whatever they possibly can. But like I said, this fight is almost certainly won unless Shinigami can do something huge, like a blizzard right in the middle of point to get people off. But it just is not going to work too well. Nukes coming on point. They don't have second tick though, which is honestly amazing. Shinigami doing an absolutely perfect job of contesting this point, forcing everybody off point. Second tick comes down. The spawn times are getting a little bit too long for Shinigami to even think about having the Shrill contest come in. And that is going to be 4 minutes for Chocobros to get 1 tick.
That is brutal for Shinigami, and again we saw the blizzard came out, but that composition from Chocobro is so deftly able to avoid it. It's such a powerful ability, and they're doing such a great job of nullifying it. I know, so I was enjoying watching Ignore Pie just sitting in the spawn door. Once Chocobros made their way onto the point, Ignore Pie was sitting just in front of the spawn door, harassing every one of the defenders that came out, even forced a Deadeye to come out just to be invested in the back line. The McCree got killed in the middle of it, but that's what you want to see from your tank. The one player doing so much work stopping any reinforcements coming back. It was only once Ignore Pie went back to the point to have some fun. Shinigami was able to contest, and look, they burnt off a minute. That's probably the only positive I think Shinigami will take out of this. Choco Bros, you said it, 4 minutes 16 on the clock. That is more time than they start with. And we've seen Choco Bros don't need 4 minutes. They don't need 1 minute to capture this point. So this will have to be a miracle for Shinigami. And they're setting themselves up for it. They're bringing the Mercy, bringing the Baptiste as well, bringing a Pharah of their own. So they're pulling out all the stops here to get the job done. They need to hold 33% or Choco Bros will be back-to-back Division 1 champions. As they roll out, no changes from side of Choco Bros. It's working. Why change anything? And I will enjoy seeing this Pharah jewel in the sky as, geez, Dios is already piling on the damage. Already up to 32% to that barrage. That could clean up the point almost immediately.
Absolutely amazing with his prediction skills on this amazing projectile hero, but we are going to be seeing the dive come in. Really, they just want to get, really all that they need is one.
Oh, that's a start.
That's all they need to get a pick off, but if you get picked on, it's going to be infinitely harder to push. With one player already down, they're choosing to a half push. It seems like they're putting a little bit too much as they wait for Safra to come back. They still have a foot in the door, but they're not completely backing out, which is a little bit. Oh, Safra's going high ground. Safra's gonna try. Oh, seems like Dios is going to call it too. Going for Safra. Safra's already down. Dios tries to play cheeky, but Saffroff, he knows it's gonna happen. He's just gonna take him out right there. I'm sorry, Saffroff trying to play cheeky, but Dios is just gonna completely ignore him. That is going to be a minute already down.
Why the res? You're just gonna sacrifice Safra again. Okay, interesting res from Luke. Tamahara, you know, gets very aggressive. Yeah, you get the res, but then you've just killed Safra again, and your res is on cooldown. In the meantime, Shinigami, they're almost at the full 6 stack of ults. Choco Bros, not too far behind. Makiati and Safra, a little low, below 50%. Everyone else getting there. So, you know what? Shinigami's done what they needed to do. So far, they've burnt almost 2 minutes off the clock, and they can last another 2 minutes. They can, you know, salvage the draw, but keep themselves in this match.
The dive tries to come up on 2-3. In fact, the nano comes up as well. That's the first 6 down.
Oh no,
and
the
it's not looking
anti-grenade.
too good. The anti-grenade is too big. The focus fire on the 2 dive tanks is a little bit too much for Shinigami to handle, and that is going to be Choco Bros finishing it up. That is going to be Choco Bros, the past and current Supreme Champions of Division 1. Great plays by both sides, but Choco Bros is showing that they have what it takes to continue being the champions.
Indeed, they do, and that's, and even more impressively, that's 2 grand finals in a row where they haven't dropped a single map. They are so dominant right now. It's unbelievable how good this team is in Division 1. We're seeing it. Ono and Tamahara getting the cards at the end of that map, and well deserved. I mean, I've loved seeing Tamahara play. They're so aggressive on those reses. Generally pulls them off. You know, it may not. No, I won't say that. I'll say always pulls those aggressive reses off, and they're always so impactful as well. Getting that key person back into the fight. Oh, it's been so good.
Yeah, those reses are a little bit risky, but they really saved almost all of those games for Choco Bros.
Well, unfortunately, we have no MVP vote here, but since the channel is still running with that last round here, I just typed MVP in chat. Let's see if who they're going to spam out, and hopefully with that, we're going to be able to pick up who we are. But I would really like to talk to Choco Bros once more here. They had a strong showing. It seems that they had the plan to victory here. It seems that they had the... I like the chance to Winston that they had. It seems that the mobility that Ignored Pie was able to put out was quite a bit of harassment on the front line and back line here. And just being stuck on that low ground without a Lucio seemed to be a little caught out here and there.
Yeah, and it typically, you don't often see the Winston being played at the moment. So much bullying of that hero, but Ignored Pie played it to perfection, able to get in and get out with their life a lot of the times. Some great primal rages as well. And you mentioned lots of harassment, even playing into the Maid from Dios. So Ignored Pie really knows how to play around, well, not just the Maid, the McCree as well. I mean, you got the freeze, you got the flashbang against you, and still able to get that Winston play and just shows how good Ignore is on that main tank role. Of course, credit as well to Safra. You asked why that Soldier 76 was there, and that showed it. And not only from the denial of line of sight, but using those legs to sprint ability to get around, get in behind, pump out the damage. It can. I don't want to say confused Shinigami, but it put them in a bind. Do we protect from the front? Do we protect from the back? Especially working in concert with that Pharah, they can be chunking in damage from 2 or 3 different angles. It is so hard to deal with. Chocobros, just the way they played, they must have practiced this composition, and it shows so well.
Yeah, the absolute harassment. I'm not going to lie. I still have upset tummies over. I'm still having an upset tummy over Safra playing Soldier. Side-eyed it at the first match, and then Safra really just proved me 100% wrong. Soldier, that sprint ability is a lot better than his ultimate, and it shows.
It's weird. There's probably a few characters like that where they have abilities that are a little bit better than their ultimates. And yeah, Soldier 76, it's not a terrible aimbot is not a terrible idea. It's good, but the problem is teams have learnt how to play around. You've seen Soldier so much, and
it might not be it. Both these teams play at very high elos, so it might be that there's no Soldier available. It might be that the strat was so out of the box that they didn't know what exactly the counter pick was. But it seems that Safra they knew what the strategy was. That he was able to go around, get on that high ground every single time, just flank and flank and flank. It seems that is what won them out of this map.
Yeah, and out of the series as well. So it looked quite close on Route 6. You know what? And credit to Shinigami. Yeah, they may have lost. Of course they lost, but they went so close. Route 66, 5 versus 4. He went to overtime on there. Went to a quasi overtime of Volsky Industries as well. They ran it so close. So full credit to them. You come in. You come second in Division 1. That is no mean feat at all. So I like to see that. I've loved watching them play this season. I'm looking forward to seeing them play next season as well. I'm seeing if they can improve, go one better. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a Chocobro Shinigami rematch in next season's grand final and have the positions be reversed. Shinigami take it out. That would be perhaps a fitting end to the reign of Chocobros. If it comes to that, maybe Chocobros will go for the 3-pin, retire undefeated champions. That's always an option for teams. I wouldn't say retire. Maybe they go up to GM and take out the GM division as well, because at least you can't say you're back-to-back Division 1 champions then.
We dominated Div 1. Just decided to end it there. No, I think Chocobros is gonna keep on kicking for a little bit longer.
Well, they had a start showing here and a song showing before. So let's see. Sitting down in Season 3 chat, so I'm gonna move up.
Well, as we decide who the MVP will be that we'll interview.
I moved them to.
You moved to
the wrong channel. Well, it seems that Macchiati
there we go.
MVPs
biggest votes so far, and it seems he got the votes from his enemy team as well. At least he's the only one with 3 votes so far. Either way, we also have Pi in here as the coach, and it seems that Popcorn joined on S as well, showing up beautifully on the McCree on those first couple maps.
Thank you.
Right,
so how are you feeling? Back-to-back champions. Is that where you expect to come into the season?
Well, we actually won 3 times in a row.
Ah,
back to back.
So we're
back.
back to back. But yeah, it feels great. I think it feels really good. We did expect to come into it winning, but
yeah,
we
we heard there was going to be more competition this year, and I guess there was more competition, but
those maps were really close. Those first 2.
Yeah, they were pretty close. They seemed pretty close.
That was a nail biter on 66 for sure.
Oh,
It is pretty easy, actually.
Oh, okay, alright. Okay.
I think the Shinigami has definitely like improved since the last time we played them. So hats
That's
off to
true.
them for really grinding, and trying to improve.
We honestly thought they were going to pick Anubis because they rolled us on that map in the season. I don't know why I didn't pick Anubis.
Well, it seems like they had a different strat in line for that map.
Maybe.
So you guys won for the third time now. I assume you guys are also playing OD. Any hopes for that kind of tournament, or
We're actually not doing OD right now.
no?
No, not right now. We like our schedule didn't line up with Open Division, so we chose not to do it. But hopefully in the future we can. We're like looking to do OD or other tournaments as well.
All right. Bite. Any questions? You've been on the.
So you said
wider
that you're
side?
hoping. So you're saying you're hoping to go into other tournaments. What can we be expecting to see from Choco Bros in the future?
Well, first we gotta like see what other tournaments are going on right now. I think right now we have our eyes on the Rose Cup. They're starting up again, so it's really that was another pretty big community, and I think we qualify or we make their GM division.
ooh.
Yeah, so we'll finally get to play with in the GM division. Maybe not in Revolution, but at least in another place. So we're
Yes.
looking forward to that, and the competition and level of play that will bring.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
I know Popcorn was sad. Doomfist got banned for this last round.
Yeah, I'm playing that character, man. I'm so sad.
Yeah,
Well,
but
you
Don't
could
blame
have.
us. Blame the devs. It's their
No,
fault.
no,
They
no,
banned.
no, no.
Yeah,
Just take the
blame
blame yourself.
RNG.
If you were
Blizzard
better,
devs, to be
you
clear.
would have been in GM division. You could have played Doomfist.
Or
Yeah.
exactly. Or like I said, we instead of doing comp bans, we could have done Overwatch League bans, which every team is doing right
It
now.
was put to a vote. You guys was put to a vote. That's.
yeah, it was a little
Yeah,
unlucky, I think.
I don't know why the captains voted for comp bans, but
They wanted
it
to
is what it
practice
is.
more, and they wanted to make it easier for their team. I can not
Yeah.
blame them for it. They wanted the
Oh,
most competitive way.
No, I'm not really. I'm not flaming them. It's just, I think in my eyes, it's like a lot of teams they don't really even scrim comp bans, So it's like super hard to find comp bans unless I guess you're scrimming teams here.
Oh, I do agree with that. It's kind of hard to find teams, and then you basically sit there, and then you do we do one round our bands, you do a round on your bands, and
Yeah, that's what we've been doing. So I guess it's been working out, but
Yeah.
I think we want the full 2 hours block to be straight something that we're actually practicing for.
So how is have you guys been able to find more practice now that quarantine is taking full swing?
Yeah, I think a lot of the player schedules have opened up, but luckily some of us are still working or still have school as well. So there's still some limitations in our schedule, but it's been kind of a blessing because we can like scrim more often and we can scrim during more popular blocks, so it's easier to find teams.
And also I think maybe a closing question, unless Temporal has one on the back burner. Will you guys be spending the time in between seasons to grind up to hopefully get into Grandmaster Division next season?
I think well. I think right now we're just soaking up the win. We're getting it in all of its glory as the 3P champions, and sometimes some of us Popcorn the 4-time.
Yeah, I'm for it. Thank you guys. Thank you.
All right, I do have one more question, the most burning one as well, and I assume from chat as well. You guys won. You get the prize money. What are you gonna do with it?
We're all gonna go to Disney World when quarantine's done. With our 125. No. I guess maybe purchase something in Valorant.
Get some Valorant skins.
Get some
usually,
Valorant skins.
I think with our last winnings, we bought a mural from from our local team artist, Snotty. She did a really beautiful mural for our whole team and all of our
Yes.
past members and stuff. It was like really great. It was a really nice piece.
All right, if
Hell yeah.
if I find you guys like little trophies on Amazon, would that be okay?
That'd be great.
Hell
That'd
yeah.
be so great.
Give me that. Gimme.
No, I'm just kidding. But that would be
Wow.
something to do.
Not
That way,
much.
everybody has something at home, like a tiny little trophy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I could just
Well-
just send a picture of a trophy and everyone can print it out.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, there we go. We'll put it on our walls.
I'll post it on my yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for showing up. Was an exciting match from both teams so far. Thank you for Byte and Temporal for being here. I'm sorry, guys, that this was on the second channel, but the first channel had a nail-biting team here. Temporal was sitting in it for about 2.5 hours or longer, watching that match. Apparently, it went to map 6, 2-2,
It
to
did.
that last control map.
And
So-
it went down to it went down to the final point of Oasis, 100 to 99 on that last control map as well. So it went all the way.
Oh,
Oh,
wow, that's a
wow.
real nail biter.
That's nuts.
Oh yeah.
It must have. I watched some of it. It was a fantastic match. Either way, we got a second channel.
Speaking of fantastic matches, there's one more grand final remaining. The GM division.
That's gonna be
Nice.
fantastic.
That will be tomorrow between, I believe, Turbulence and Six Guns.
Oh, that's gonna be
Someone said earlier.
fantastic. Six Guns always
I didn't
pulling out
bother
some
to
interesting strategies.
Check my own Twitter.
Oh, your own
Indeed
Twitter.
they do.
Ah.
So I didn't check the notifications. I know someone posted the. You know what? This is very unprofessional of me. I know Turbulence is there because I was casting the semi-final.
Hey, I've been playing No Man's Sky all day long. I have not seen anything else. Either way, thanks for the teams. Thanks for the casters showing up. Temporal still coming in after that long casting and helping out Byte and relieving me of my duty, being able to go a little more focused on the actual gameplay, getting a couple more first-person views, especially of Safra here pulling out the visor as well, getting a couple of nice shatters in first-person view. Either way, have a good night. Thank you, Shoko
Oh wait,
Bros.
can I say one more thing? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, plug yourself. in.
As long as it's-
I don't want
As long as it complies with Twitch's terms of service, go for it.
Well, no, I was gonna say, shout out to all the casters and producers. You guys have been putting a lot of work this season. I always say this every season, but without you guys, it's like, none of this stuff is, can get streamed and people can't watch, and so we gotta give a huge shout out to you guys. So thank you very much.
Yeah, we always appreciate all the work you guys put in.
Always appreciative. You guys are the bomb.com.
No, props.
Oh, thank you. You make my heart blush.
Once again,
Always.
popcorn works his way into my heart.
I do it every season,
Actually, now
man.
I have craving for actual popcorn. God damn.
There you go. See.
Alright, with that, I'm going to send off, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
All right, thank you. See you guys. Peace.